Hello, what is up, my friends? This is Tim bringing you another Overexplained video, probably the last one in the series. This video will assume that you have watched the first two Overexplained videos. And, I'm just kind of going based on what we've learned in the first two and going to overexplain everything as I do it, as opposed to when I'm usually just jamming out and not really explaining what I'm doing. So let's get into it. Round one. Fight. My eyes are currently drawn to 750, 750, 750. Looking at the rewards here, it's also probably the best rewards too. I think 4 Regrets is probably comparable to anything else. In terms of the tribes, we don't love any of the tribes here, but it can still give us some upgraded units right away, assuming we're successful here. I'm gonna put my Field Master on flanker duty, Spear Dancer on escort duty, War Caller on escort duty, and then a couple more on flank. We got no attackers. Opponent has some escort, and then 2 flankers on the bottom side here. Something to look out for. 2 escort, 2 attack. Should be straightforward here. I do want to say that, after you win, you get... you do get extra units that you get to carry over from your win. And so if your board only has like 4 units at the start, obviously it's a lot harder, but it's still obviously possible to do it. I had an unsuccessful run earlier where like I disconnected one time, and then when I came back, I actually just lost. So we only got to bring like 1 unit over into the next. We're still able to win that one, so. We're at about 550 rating here. Similar to the first two, just kind of controlling the center. There's an opportunity to get the totems, kind of focusing in on the minimap. Take our reward, go back, and let's spend the goods. Yeah, gonna buy a War Caller. Actually, we already have a War Caller. But I'm gonna buy him anyway. Maybe we sell him to another vendor to buy something from that vendor. Like here, we could buy a Tide Caller instead. So yeah, I'll sell the War Caller to buy the Tide Caller. We'll just hop right back in. In terms of looking at the rewards here, that is just kind of a no-brainer. 1750 with a 5C reward. Nothing's even remotely close, so let's just nab it. We actually eliminate Akoya as well. Something I didn't get to talk about in the last 2 runs were the dangerousness of some of these guys. Mata especially is very hard. I ended one of my runs. Comb, his boards at the end can be very hard, and then Kiloava has like a crazy lightning attack that can one-shot. Also, Field's units, the Stormcallers, have a crazy one-shot as well. I'm going to put the melee units, and then we're going to have our Sage, part of our escort crew here. I do like ranged units in my escort crew. So one thing the escort crew does is tries to keep up with you in terms of your move speed, attacks whatever you attacks, tries to channel what you channel. Ranged units are preferred here, and definitely mobile units. You wouldn't want to put like a turtle or something, a slow mover in your escort crew, because it'll spend a lot of time just running and not a lot of time performing actions, and that's really what it's about. You just want to keep your units active, doing something, whether it's buffing your team, debuffing the enemy team, flanking, killing turrets, just throwing their body at the enemy team. I always talk about like just throwing your body, kind of outstatting the enemy team by just having more hit points, having more attack damage than the other team. Alright, absolutely steamrolled this one. I don't even think we lost a unit that entire battle. 5C for our troubles. Let's spend. I don't love Fire Breather, but Fire Breather with item is not bad. One little tip that I didn't point out in the last one is you could always click over here to bring out your character screen, click over here to bring out your equipment screen. Then you could separate the unit with their item. So if it's a unit that's going to be attacking a lot, like my Spear Dancer, I like to give it the Ignite chance. One issue about this, the drawback is that plus 10 seconds their time to revive, so it can make their revive time very long. Just keep that in mind. Rakiata, Spear Fisher, sounds good. Goliath of the Night we want for sure, and we're only 100 away from that. What we could do is just sell the item and get the Goliath of Night. Don't have to sell the unit at all, so we can just keep all our bodies. While the Ignite chance is knights, we definitely just want the bodies. Yeah, 4C seems great here. Comes with 750 as well. Goliath of Night on Escort. You can see now we're kind of filling up our Escort quite a bit. I'm going to move the Tidecaller now to Defense, since we don't have any defenders at all. Warrior and the Fire Breather on attack. The Sage, we'll go ahead and put that corner attack as well. Enemy team doesn't have very many attackers, only a couple defenders. These camouflage turtles may be something to look at. They create clones of themselves so that don't get tricked by them. At some point, if they go undetected, they'll just completely stealth, and then they'll just reappear in your backline, hitting one of your turrets on flank. So something to just keep in mind there. My top attacker built his totem up there already, and one of my flankers is actually on his main base and got it about 3/4 of the way down, or got it a quarter of the way down, so 3/4 left. Mata, I also call Madara. Any Naruto enjoyers would know Madara just summons a huge rock above you and can one-shot you from off-screen, so just something to look out for with Mata. Generally what I do is I just try and avoid him completely. Like, even if I try and off-screen, sometimes he'll just clip me with like the edge of the meteor, and so what I'll look for is like an opportunity to just base race him. If my team is doing well, and I have more totems than he has totems, I'll kind of like try and draw him into my base. There's the camouflage turtle. I'll draw him into my base, let him kind of do whatever he wants in my base while I'm just ruining his base. And, you get an opportunity to kill his totem, and then that'll take him away. Just channel it here. Oh, and we died in one shot. That's Madara for you. Well, he's not going to 1v20 here, so I think we win anyways. Grab some chaos here. So far, a pretty profitable run. Pretty short run. We've made 10 chaos in, I don't know, call it 10 minutes. Want the Thunderbird, obviously. We'll get rid of one of the melee units because those were our flankers. And then now we get another flanker. This Storm Conduit unit is very strong. This guy does the attack that Kilowava does. That conduit of power, powerful blasts of lightning. Unfortunately, it costs a lot and uses the same currency as Thunderbirds. And I can't think of a better flanking unit than Thunderbird. So generally all of my currency goes... currency of that type goes towards Thunderbirds. Okay, 3 unmakings, 3 scours. Not that great. We'll go ahead and just kill Comb here. We don't want him at the end. Actually, this is more currency. I like having the Ramako tribe available at the end, the rewards at the end. The reason is the Ramako tribe has a +1 projectile reward that you can get, and it's quite valuable. I think it's like 4 divines currently at the moment. So it's just something to keep in mind. If you're trying to min-max the rewards from the certain tribes, maybe keep that in mind. If you're playing SSF and you're going after, I don't know, cooldown reduction, make sure you keep the corresponding guy alive. Us Trade League folk, we just go for, whatever the most profitable one is. Kind of weird. I glossed over it as I did it there, but we just killed that turret right at the very beginning, just due to the positioning and the way that the fight unfolded. Combe went towards the center. He had 2 attackers at the top, and he had 1 attacker at the bottom. We killed that attacker, and as it was reviving, we just killed the totem immediately because he had no support. That's something that can happen to your units if you don't place them correctly on your board. You know, like I always talk about, like in my last video, I talked about strong side versus weak side. You know, you don't want to just like willy-nilly put a unit over solo because it's a good way to just get your turret instantly dead. So just, you know, try and make like a clump as much as possible so your units can like support each other. What you would like is, you know, individually you might have the same amount of units, but if yours are working together better, then you know, you can achieve victory. Our flankers are doing a really good job. Again, you know, not a big surprise. We prioritize the Thunderbird. I actually just died to a unit. This is a good time to talk about it. It's a unit that casts Molten Shell on the totems. And even though that totem was really weak, and we did kill it, we also died to the Molten Shell. Fortunately for us, his board has no units left, so we have no danger. No danger there. You can see how quickly we revived as well. You know, I got a question earlier about like how long do we know, or does it take for the revives? And you know, it's pretty random, I think, based on maybe the unit that killed you, what your ranking is, maybe yeah, it's hard for me to know really. I feel like sometimes I wait on the ground a lot, like especially if it's a time where I've died a bunch. So, you know, this run hasn't been deathless. I think my previous demo was definitely not deathless. So if you die frequently, maybe it takes longer, you know, the more deaths you have to kind of punish you for like death running. I like the reward and the sponsor stuff from Kiloava. And remember, we want to try and keep Ahuna alive for the reward. Unfortunately, this wasn't the good one that we were talking about. A Titanic Shell, but it's on escort, not on defense or flank, which is like kind of where you want to put Titanic Shell. So we're not too scared. This Jade Hulk is a little bit scary. These guys do a lot of damage. Certain units in general are just like really heavy damage dealers. So like the Goliaths do a lot of damage. Jade Hulks do a lot of damage. Trying to think of some other Stormcallers, like I mentioned before. These Storm Guards with proxy shields are going to be annoying because they're going to be running around with the main guy. Oh, here's the Storm Conduit guy with the Conduit of Power. So this with Kiloava is actually a very daunting board. It's possible I even lose this one, and so I can show you guys what it looks like if I lose. Trying to stay on the outside, you know. These proc shields are going to be really annoying. At some point, I'm going to have to like sacrifice my safety of positioning to like actually try and do something. Just an illustration, you know, killing that outside tower again, then it's like almost kind of free. The middle was attacking the middle. They were all just kind of in there doing stuff. We had a chance to like cheese a unit out of play, and we're going to do that. Conversely, that's why your outside attack towers are also kind of susceptible. Okay, here's an opportunity for us to, I think, just base race. So look how many turrets I have, look how many turrets they have. I think this is a chance for us to go for it. The turtle here. We can kill this Titanic Shell. Remember that we scouted, so we know the Titanic Shell is this one right here. If we can kill the Titanic... Oh god, actually I'm dying. Rip me. I think we lost, because my units aren't going to be able to kill the Titanic Shell. So what we wanted to do is kill the Titanic Shell and then kill the totem, which kills the Titanic Shell permanently. But the main boss guy, the Kiloava guy, just ran straight into the middle of our base. I don't really know how he positioned like that. In fact, he didn't even kill this outside one. He killed my middle attacker first. So, kind of unfortunate positioning for us. Instead of waiting for this whole thing to play out while we slowly lose, could just exit. Actually, look at the mini-map. My flankers are winning the game. Okay. Well, wait, don't kill this Thunderbird pillar. Yes. If my Thunderbird pillar stays alive, my Thunderbird might just solo the entire game. Alright, well this is what a rank 500 match looks like. We just stay in the death screen while our units do everything. I mean, that's a testament to us building a good comp, right? So yeah. Yeah, totally planned, calculated for sure. I mean, we did talk about it as we were doing it, is that we were taking this risk of basically of trying to base race him, and we thought it was possible, and then we thought we failed, and then we won. So that is the recap there. I would like a Hinawaka's or a Hinakora's horn, one of the better defensive units. I'm gonna get rid of the fire breather. Don't like the fire breather that much, and it sold for like a perfect amount that allowed me to buy the Hinakora's horn. What we're gonna do here is sell the equipment to allow me to buy this guy. Now we have a decent amount of units here, heading into the penultimate fight. So we'll take 3 gilded scarabs. You can always use harvest to change these scarabs into scarabs that are more useful than elder scarabs. Got a Goliath of Night there and there. Let's go for 1 on the flank. Hinakora's horn on defense. My front line's a little bit of a joke. We'll do this effect. So this is kind of what I was talking about. So how long does it take for us to revive when we die? What if we died to one of these, right? If we die to one of these coons, then maybe it takes, 5 extra. There's items that add revive time as well. Fully stacked board. Scan the idols here. These are resurrection totems. So, be mindful of that if we're ever trying to base race. Flankers, Mystic Prophet, quite a tanky unit. This one costs, I think, like 1100 if we were to try and buy it. He's got quite a few Mystic Prophets, actually. And then the Death's Guide with the Cursed Aura Totem. That's something that, these last few fights, we've been able to just kind of get the bottom totem here right away for free. See if we can replicate the magic here. Got it. But the thing resurrected it. Just trying to see if their flankers are doing anything to my board yet. Looks like not. That's good. Keeping the fight in their territory is good because our structures aren't dying. I'm actually not very aware of the boss right now. I don't know where the boss is. Can't actually click on their totems right now either. What's going on with that? Got stunned from clicking this totem. I think that Roa behind me got me. The flankers have done a good job on the top side as well. This fight's going really well, and I don't think I really did anything special in this. I think mostly it's just our Goliaths of Night just doing a ton of damage to whatever target we happen to be focusing. Let's kill boss totem. Boss is dead. That is victory, us. Alright, here we go into the final fight. We still have a life left if we don't like the reward at the end. I was kind of complaining about the rewards last time, but that's kind of the way this mechanic's been going. Who knows if GGG is going to buff it or not. Spoilers, probably not. Okay, I bought a bunch of extra stuff here, and I think we can sell it to get a spearfisher. Swapping over currency, we've got no more than 100 at all. Suppress, we definitely don't care about. Yeah, we were really hoping to get the loyalty one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start this fight, end this fight. Start this fight, then end this fight. And we've got one guy we can sell, and we're going to get the 250 Navali. Maybe we can get an item. Don't even need the fight to play out at all. We did this in round 2. Remember, this is just something you can do to kind of control the rewards. If you're pretty confident with your board, which I think we are, we've got a pretty stacked board at this point. Just trying to manipulate the rewards here at the end. All right, Navali giving us another guy. We can sell something for an item if we wanted. We'll talk to this guy because we already have 100 favor with him. Item worth 300. Yeah, it's fine. I think we just go. And instead of that suppression tattoo, we got 3 gilded scarabs. Torment scarabs, not my favorite, but again, there's always that scarab swap thing that I was talking about. Okay, now we actually do care about scouting the board. He's got a Thunderbird and then a Caldera Ravager. His board's kind of the who's who of very good units here. On defense, he has a Storm Conduit, very dangerous. Yeah, not much else to say. I think his board is not that great. We're just going to kind of play a little bit more defensive. I think one way we could definitely throw here is if we just die immediately for free. So we would like to, you know, not get one shot by the boss. That's kind of one of the big variables here. As you get into the high ranks, the boss is capable of one-shotting. Most bosses are capable of one-shotting, I would say. Oh, we actually lost 2 attackers in our front line. Wow. Wow, a 3rd attacker in our front. Wow, we're getting steamrolled, actually. Oh, wow. We might actually lose here. We might go second. Goodbye, 3 gilded scarabs and a tattoo. I don't actually know what's doing all the damage. It might just be the boss himself. Our flankers are not alive. One of them is dead. Weren't able to break through with our flankers. No. Oh, I do want to talk about something that happened in one of my runs where you can get 2 bosses together at the same time. And that is not a bug. It is possible for that to happen. I don't know exactly what causes it, but obviously it's very difficult. You don't get like 2 chests or anything at the end. It just happens to be like a doubly difficult fight. You ever get something like that? You know, obviously you want to just try and kill the bosses together, or maybe set up a scenario where you can try and base race. We were able to stem that initial tide there. Our entire front line is dead. We have no attackers left. And they killed one of my flankers on the bottom, so I don't know. I don't know how this fight is going to go exactly. Definitely don't want to stand in the middle. Just trying to hug the edges here. So we don't die. Our flankers are doing a good job, though. I'm noticing on the minimap that almost all the defenders, all but one defender, is dead. So what we can do is go for it. Killing his last escort. Killing his last... Oh, tried to kill his last defender there. A little bit of a... Wouldn't mind a base race. Killing his defender. You see the wallers here? I've made it to where it's kind of easy. It is totem. Let's do that. Actually, they're kind of killing me. So this one is, you know, this whole run wasn't exactly perfect. I had that one where we finished the round while I was dead. I had one that, you know, this fight started really bad. But we ended up achieving victory, getting an accomplishment here. Wow, 3 really good units. The Horn, the Thunderbird are both S tier units, I think. Great EXP here as well, just kind of leveling some gems on the offhand. Okay, got our Gilded Scarab Omen with no global defenses tattoo. Okay, that's it for our Overexplained. Hopefully you guys enjoyed me kind of talking through my thoughts. Like I said, this is the 3rd video in the series. Go back and watch the other 2. I kind of put them in progressive order that, you know, it builds off the previous one. So hopefully you guys like that content. I'm going to continue doing these. If you guys have questions that weren't answered on this video, feel free to stop by on stream and I will answer them. Thank you guys for stopping by, and I will see you guys in the next one.